Some of the things that impact the taste or the sweetness or the bitterness of fruit is how it is cultivated. In other words, there are certain factors that need to be right in the right place, have the right amount of this and the right amount of that, in order for us to actually taste it when we taste the fruit, that it actually tastes good and it doesn't taste bitter. When you get bitter fruit, here's some of the reasons why fruit becomes bitter. Number one, it doesn't have enough water. It hasn't been given enough water. And when the fruit doesn't have, the seed doesn't have enough water, what happens is it has a demand. There's a certain amount of water that it gets. Jesus says this. He says, if you drink from this water, you'll be thirsty again. But if you drink from this water, you'll never thirst again. So my question becomes is, number one, how much water are you giving to yourself? The body, the natural body, is actually made up between 60 and 75% of water. Your body, your natural body, is majority water, and it needs water and to actually act. So this is why you're dehydrated and you can't drink pop, you can't drink juice, you can't drink just any kind of thing. Your body is craving water, just like your natural body is craving water. It is also in the spirit that your spirit man is craving water. How much water are you giving it? How much water are you giving your spirit? Number two, light. Light plays a key factor in making sure that that fruit stays sweet, that when that seed produces that fruit, that it is sweet and it's not bitter. And it's not enough. There can either be too much light or not enough light. And either one of those factors can actually make that the sweetness, it adjusts. And it could be either not as sweet or just real bitter. So you got to make sure you got to have light. All right. What is light? Light is revelation, right? Revelation, understanding. He says, first of all, Jesus says, I am the light of the world. Then he comes back and says that you now are the light of the world. And so we have to understand that light is revelation, understanding, knowledge, and insight. When the seed needs light, it needs revelation. All right. So the natural seed needs light. Your spirit man, your body, you need revelation. You need understanding, wisdom, and knowledge of what it is the Lord is saying and what his word says about you, for you, to you, and all of the other things of the word of the Lord. And so you need light. The other part is soil. All right. The soil has to be the right soil. When we look at the parable of the sower, he says that when the seed fell on good ground, then it produced fruit 30, 60, 100 fold when it fell on good ground. Let me ask you something. Is your heart available to receive, or do you have a heart of stone? Do you have a heart of flesh that can receive the word of the Lord so that you can produce the fruit that God has called you to produce? The other thing is temperature. All right. Has to be the right temperature in the right setting. You'll never find an orange tree placed in Minnesota or Wisconsin or Alaska or somewhere crazy like that, because the temperature is not correct for that fruit to produce what it needs to produce in the right manner. And so the question becomes is where are you planted? Where are you planted? Where have you set your feet? Mm, 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 mm. Lastly, we talked about the ecosystem. The ecosystem is basically where you have all of these living organisms that function together in a type of environment that each one of them survive off the other one. And so there's a community when you talk about a natural ecosystem. What does your spiritual ecosystem look like? Who are you around? Who are you friend? Who are your friends? What church do you go to? Are they feeding you properly? Are you being fed properly? Are you just getting milk? Or are you getting good food that's actually feeding your soul? Is it just making you feel good, or is it actually challenging you? See, many of us, we want to go to church that makes us feel good, that's that's to our senses. Oh, I'm so, but nobody wants to be challenged anymore. Well, Reveal Church, that's our job. We gonna challenge you. We gonna stretch you. We're gonna make sure that you know without a shadow of a doubt, you're gonna not just look like the fruit, but we want you to taste like the fruit. Join us next Sunday at 4 p.m. as we continue the series at Revelation Nights with Reveal Church, Bearing Fruit, which is a sub-series of Good Morning, Holy Spirit. Love you. Hope to see you soon. God bless.